You're muted.
You're muted, Tim.
Thank you. Now I'd like to introduce Distinguished Toastmaster, past District Governor from District 57, Tyree Johnson, RE, which stands for Roastmaster Extraordinaire. But before I turn it over to you, Tyree, I also wanted to welcome Distinguished Toastmaster Carolyn Douglas, the current District 57 Director. Welcome, Carolyn.
Thank you so much. I appreciate being here to support you and Jennifer and everybody.
All
You're
right.
such a support to me.
All right, Mr. Johnson, take it away.
All right. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters in District 4, and to our outgoing leader and District Director, Tim Carlisle. For those of you who may not be familiar with the tradition of a roast and toast of an outgoing Toastmaster leader, it should serve this primary purpose, and that is to give a reflection on the service and connection of relationship that you may have had with Toastmasters through your connection with Tim over the last 12 months, or maybe over your whole Toastmasters tenure. It can be humorous, it can be reflective, it can certainly be sarcastic, even facetious. I would ask you to be careful in being mean, because those teeth sometimes come back to bite you. And Tim will have the final word, and I'll just leave it at that. I will announce our speaking order, and I hope each person, I enunciate your name correctly, but also that they are able to introduce themselves in their role. And do we have a timer? Who is our timer?
I can time.
Thank you, Christina. So I was given instructions that each speaker would have 2 to 3 minutes. Is that not correct, Tim?
Correct.
And so the timing will be as follows.
I'm
Christina,
listening to they started the.
hello?
Yep, we're good.
All right. So Christina, if you could give them a signal, a green at background at 2 minutes, yellow at 2.5, and red at 3. We will allow a little leeway, but if it's going well past the 3:30 mark, I will intercede. But hopefully all this is in fun. And our speaking order is as follows. I'm not sure if Elliot is here, so I've kind of moved him toward the end. But we'll hear first from Solazar, and then
Elliot's a she, by the way.
oh, sorry, I didn't know. And then we'll have Kathy Mark, Kevin Shea, Janice Hom, Brendan Murphy, and Elliot if she arrives. And so first, let me introduce the kickoff for today's Roast and Toast, someone who I know quite well for his sense of humor that's blended in with wonderful leadership tips and guides, someone who I really appreciate for his sense of humor, as well as his observations on how all things go in today's society, particularly in the world of communication and in Toastmasters. Please give a round of applause for Mr. Solazar Della Porta.
Thank you, Mr. Roastmaster. So how do I begin to tell the story? Oh, I'm sorry, wrong speech. I'm sorry. What I'm confused about is Tim started earlier by saying he's unapologetic. I can't understand that. So let me tell you about when I first met Tim. You see, we bonded over our military service. Now, I served 21 years in the U.S. Marine Corps. Tim was not able to join the Marine Corps. Now, he did serve in the honorable alternative to military service, the U.S. Navy. Now, the world is 70% water, and in their wisdom, the U.S. Navy put Tim underwater in submarines. I think it was a preventive measure to protect the rest of us. Now, I don't want to make it seem that the best place for Tim is 2,000 feet underwater. After all, he has the wisdom of an owl, the grace of a swan, and the eye of an eagle. After all, as we know, Tim is for the birds. Now, he likes to be funny and make jokes. And I've told him more than once, if you're going to be a smart ass, first you have to be smart. Otherwise, well, you know what I mean. Tim is a good example of what happens when women drink during pregnancy. And of course, his mother often said she understood why some animals eat their young. And as I close, I just want to tell Tim, I didn't mean to offend him, but if I did, it was a plus. Back to you, Mr. Roastmaster.
Mr. Solazar, thank you so very, very much for those insightful words and bringing us into the realm of what a roast and a toast can really be. Tim, is your seat getting warm? Well, I expect the heat to come up even a little bit more as we hear from our next speaker, Kathy Mark.
Well, Timothy for sure is the man of the hour and a man after my own heart. I've known Tim since he joined SFO in 2015. If you know Tim, you realize he has a thirst for knowledge, an endless curiosity. First, I imagine him as the Energizer Bunny. And yet, you know, in this big pink suit with a rabbit and sunglasses, I wasn't sure. So then now I think of him as the Pillsbury Doughboy, a very sweet, joyful person that you want to keep punching with your finger in the stomach. From our relationship, I feel like I can share some of Tim's neuroses, if that's the word. In prep for a roast that I did back in 2017 in Plain Talk, I asked Tim about areas of improvement. He had mentioned public speaking. Now, at first I thought Tim had an OCD disorder because it seemed that he lived and breathed for Toastmasters. What's up with this? I've come to respect Tim because you know what? It takes discipline. It takes passion, dedication to become our Plain Talks Club's first and only distinguished Toastmaster, which is a huge, highest honor. Now, let me tell you about a few of Tim's other qualities. Generosity, humor, and playfulness. How many times have you heard him say, now that will teach you to joke with me? His service to organizations. Now, Tim is never at a loss for words. His cup of knowledge runneth over. And I realized in the past, I try to be an active listener, but if I do check out for a moment, oh, God knows what I might have missed. Tim's passion is definitely in service. Think of all the organizations, the Homeowners Association, the U.S. Submarines Vet, the Navy League. It goes on and on and on. I'm so proud, Tim, of your most recent award in being the CTO of the National Veterans Organization, an honor well deserved. In summary, I know this is more of a toast than a roast, but it is my honor to know, to work, to love Tim in all his capacities. He is a compulsive fixer, so be wary. If he tries to fix you, watch out. I would love him to try to fix the world. Tim, as a humble man, you value important things in life, your community and service to your community. We have all been truly blessed and thankful for your service, as always, to Toastmasters at any level and especially as the past district director. Back to you, Tyree.
Kathy, thank you so very much. I think you did a very good job of rolling us through some choppy waters and still making it calm in the end. And I really appreciate your insightful comment of Tim being a fixer. I think we may hear a little bit more about that. I know he wanted me to kind of fix my face before I came on board, but you know, plastic surgery can only go.
You're muted, sorry.
Sorry. Thank you. And our next speaker is Mr. Kevin Shea. Kevin, take it away.
Roastmaster, thank you very much, and a pleasant good afternoon to everybody. I can't tell you how happy I am to hear these great words coming from everybody about Tim, because of how much Tim has grown in his life. And he is an example for me because of all the things he's overcome. And I know Tim doesn't like me to say things like that, but I just want to share with you the hurdles Tim had to go through to get here. You know, Tim was actually a very, very shy person, extremely shy person. He was a member of the Society for the Prevention of Shy People Missing Out for a long time. He even became the president of that group. But it all started basically in his youth. You may not know this, but Tim was one of the original members of the Backstreet Boys. He wrote the song, "I Want It My Way." Unfortunately, this is where things started going wrong for him. He was booted out of the club, but they kept the music. Tim then decided, no, I'm not going to let this get me down, and he joined the Submarine Corps. This is where his out of the hull thinking came. And again, he ran into trouble. He went ahead and put together ideas like screen doors for these submarines to let air come in and out. He was really instrumental in trying to get acid rock bands to be inside the sub during the regular patrols so that he could entertain the people. And his idea of putting a swimming pool in the torpedo room was something that just didn't work out very well. Fortunately, he had the ability to keep on moving and coming forward in his life. He found a great job at SFO, helping everybody to fly around the world. But that also had its challenges. For a while, they tried him out on the tarmac as one of the guiding individuals bringing the planes. Unfortunately, he was so shy that he couldn't do it because he wasn't properly introduced to each plane before he started directing them. And then he tried the security measure of the tricky 3 questions instead of TSA. You know, what's your name? You know, where are you going? When are you going to come back? Those are the 3 questions he had. And he thought they were pretty clever, but didn't quite work out very well. And then he came to Toastmasters, this fantastic group that helped him, even though he too also had a hard time. Because in the beginning, Tim, once again, was beyond the normal thinking. He started the Mime Club, Toastmaster Mime Club. And that was a little boring for about an hour, and that didn't work out as well. Then he moved up. He thought, no, we should have this Toastmaster Low Voice Club. Well, okay, that improved just a bit, but then again, and then he finally found something to do. He started leading, and that's where he started growing. Well, I got a message from Tim. He's just saying, stop talking now. Okay, so everyone, thank you so much for your time, and way to go, Tim.
All right. All right. Thank you so much, Kevin. That was on point. Tim, I really hope you take some of this to heart and then some of this to your head to think about. All right. Our next speaker is someone who I've enjoyed working with over here at District 4 because of her extensive service. So I'm really looking forward to hearing her observations of Tim and his service as a district director and her overall interactions. Please give a warm welcome to Janice Hom.
Mr. Roastmaster Tyree, fellow Toastmasters, and of course, immediate past district director, Timothy. This afternoon, Toastmasters from 3 different districts have come together to we're honoring a man that we greatly admire, greatly respect, and despite our best efforts, we're still falling short. Sad. So, when you think of Tim Carlisle, what is your first impression? Yes, I had the same problem too. It was very hard for me to come up with something. So I had to ask a few other Toastmasters for their impression. A few of them said, "Who's Tim?" Then another one said, "He's not really funny." A third was the best. He said, Tim's glasses keep falling over his nose. So we keep thinking that he probably looks like a Supreme Court judge. Still, the best line was from his own club president who said, "I can't think of anything about Tim." So for me, I like to think of Tim as that submarine guy. You know, he's that naval guy through and through. At every meeting that I've ever attended, Tim would always have this submarine, you've seen it, the submarine as part of his virtual background. At first, I thought it was cute. Then after a while, it got real peculiar. For instance, when he makes his appearance at any Toastmaster meeting, he insists on being piped aboard. You know what that means? It goes, yep, that's what he always wants us to hear. Then when he's the timer, he does not flash the red card when you're over. What you actually will hear is, "Dive, dive, dive." Oh my God, really? So when Tim joined my club, he tried to get us to change the club's name to reflect his glory. Yes, the San Francisco bilingual Carlisle Toastmaster just doesn't have the same ring as the San Francisco bilingual Cantonese Toastmasters. Tim is the only member of this club that speaks Tagalog in a Cantonese speaking club. Although we all agree he does have the potential of learning Cantonese, he just doesn't. And so I could go on about Tim, and I know you don't want me to do that. So I'd like to end my presentation with a little ditty that Mr. Carlisle always wants us to end the meeting with. It goes like this. In the time when he was born, lived a man who sailed the sea. His name is Timothy C. of the land of submarine. Oh, you guys, I can't go on. Back to you, Roastmaster Tyree.
Janice, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Geez, I wish we could have extended another minute. We may have extra time. We might need an encore, Janice. Our next speaker today is someone who I've worked with, and Tim as well, over at District 57 in Laugh Lovers. And believe me, Laugh Lovers focuses on humor because all of us need it. In this case, Brendan Murphy has a deficit. Hopefully he learns how to overcome it in sharing his insights and reflections on working with Timothy Carlisle this past year. Please welcome Brendan Murphy.
Thank you, past district governor and past international director, losing candidate, E. Tyree Johnson. Yes, I am a sub for another roaster. Ooh, I just said the S word. That means Tim will be triggered to tell us more submarine stories. Of course, you have all heard Tim's favorite line that when he misses his days on a submarine, he takes a little nap underneath the coffee table. Tim. It's been years since then. I'm thinking a dining table is a better fit. But thanks for fitting me in on this list of roasters today. My life is so complete. Not the least because of the company I'm keeping. Our roast master, for example, he's from Cleveland. And with the first name of Edsel, what could possibly go wrong? And Solazar? Could you get it somebody with a last name? Well, maybe I shouldn't be surprised at the crazy crew you've assembled here because you desperately called me late last night to be a roaster. Don't I feel special? Actually, no. Because Tim, you have never recruited me for for Landmark. You've invited everyone else. Both of my feelings are hurt, but my wallet is okay. Okay, as the past president of Laugh Lovers, it's incumbent upon me to summarize the famed Tim Carlisle humorous speech method. Step 1, find a comic panel online. Step 2, paste said panel onto a PowerPoint slide. Step 3, read said comic panel to the audience. Step 4, laugh uproariously while the audience goes, "What the heck?" And then repeat the above steps 20 times until your speech mercifully ends 5 minutes past the time limit. Well, Tim, it's about time for me to wrap it up and give the traditional, "I love you like a brother, man." But I don't like my brothers and they don't like me. So I'm just gonna wait for your rebuttal. Or maybe I'll just take a nap. Probably doesn't make a difference either way. Edsel?
Thank you, Brendan. You've shown us that the Laugh Lovers does have a positive effect for some of us, but please don't give up your day job. I know you wanted to be a speechwriter for Don Rickles, but he died. And his humor was too mean, you're too soft. Closing us out today is Elliot Ma. Elliot, we're so glad you're able to join us, and we would love for you to share your insights and reflections on Tim's tenure and your connection with him over this past leadership year.
Honorable Roastmaster Tyreen and fellow Toastmasters who came here to just glee at having that man roasted. And also, most especially, past District Director Tim. It is my honor. It is my sick, loving, humorous way of getting you back, Mr. Tim Carlisle. He is my everywhere, anything man. Tim Carlisle is everywhere. Did you notice that at meetings? But that's how I got to know him. In 2006, when I had to run the 2016 conference, this man showed up and said, "I'll be willing to do anything." I said, "Well, can you just collect some photographs for us to use for our recognition period?" "Sure, I'll do that." But you know what I didn't know, that man has stalked me ever since. Wherever I go, there he is. I started to do San Francisco Mandarin Toastmasters Club. The man showed up. "You don't even speak Mandarin. What are you doing here, man?" "Yeah, Janice might teach you how to speak Cantonese, but do you know how to speak Mandarin?" Well, it turned out he did know a lot. He knows 5 languages. Did you know that about this man? All right, so back to this man who is everywhere and anything. I just never knew that while he was coming to my meetings and say, "Tim, could you be my sergeant at arms today? Tim, could you give a pocket speech today? Tim, can you be the general evaluator?" Meanwhile, this man has gone up, 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 up. Yes, he's gone from the top bottom to the top of the top 4. So here he is, district director. And when he comes up to the meeting, to my meetings, my 5 club, Do I introduce him as the district director? No, I said, there's Tim again. That man gets no respect. That man gets no respect, but it is my recognition of him today. Finally, he did become our district director. He has led many, many of you up to the top as well. So I'm so glad, Tim, that you finally retired. You know why? Because now I'm part of the top 4. I need your help, mister. It is really tough up here, but you've been there, you've done that. And that's why I'm so glad that you can retire in order for me to step into those big shoes of yours. Mr. Roaster, back to you.
Thank you, Elliot. You really came through in the crunch here as our last roaster and toaster today. And so how this really flows is, as we've heard from all of the reflections of both roast and toast of Tim's tenure as the district director, he has a chance to rebuttal. Now, we heard his outgoing message, but I think this is going to be something that he has flavored, particularly for each person who spoke earlier. So Tim, you have the floor.
Why, thank you, Tyree. And since, according to Brendan, I don't know anything but finding memes on Facebook and pasting them into a PowerPoint, I'm ready. Here we go. First of all, I want to share with you, it's all fun and games until somebody gets offended, but then it becomes entertaining. That's that famous cat. Now, I want to start off with Brendan Murphy and Kevin Shea. I know you guys need a hug. Oh, that says huge shot of whiskey. Irish Catholics, go figure. Now, technically, according to this drawing, alcohol could be a solution for you. Just thought I'd bring that up. I was watching this show for 10 minutes. This lady was listening to all these great things to do, having fun, and then I realized it was a religious channel. And she was reading a list of sins. I don't know what to say about that. Now, for Mal Luche and Janice Hom, I wanted to bring a common frame of reference, so I picked the 70s. Now, you're a little bit, maybe a little bit older than me, or maybe not, and I don't think this is the 70s temperature. I think this may be how people used to dress back in that day. So just to show that I do know how to speak a little bit of Mandarin, and I'm also older, we're going to start off with Elliot. Ni hao, bao bei. Technically, that means, how are you, baby? I had to say that. And then for Janice, because Janice is in the Cantonese English Club, here's what I have for you. Tong laka zhongfu gongfu ma, which is say hello to your husband. See, anyone can do this if you work hard enough and you have enough patience. Now, I also wanted to share with them, I understand why our generation has so much smarts. We use lawn darts and clacker balls to take out the stupid ones. Maybe, maybe not. Now, I have known Janice and Elliot ever since I started my Toastmasters life. More importantly, I've dealt with them and been very grateful for that. Now to Queen Kathy, my home club. Now, a positive attitude may not solve all your problems, but it does annoy enough people to make it worth the effort. And another thing I wanted to point out, technically Mo's the first guy to download files from the cloud using tablets. Think about that one for just a minute. Although this guy's from the NRA, whatever. Solazar, I've saved the best for last. Sometimes there's just not enough curse words to get through the day when I'm dealing with you. However, I want to show you my experience of being with the Marine Corps. And you'll notice I'm the sailor standing up and the Marine Corps guy is the one that's throwing up. There's a message there. And as I've told you before, you know, which set of crayons did you use, the 64 or the 120 when you worked in the Marine Corps? Just thought I'd ask. I'm not really certain, but I'm sure you'll let your conscience be your guide. Oh, 6 crayons, even better. All right. Now, this is a Venn diagram for those of you who are not in the military that kind of explains the Army, Navy, and Marine Corps, the common denominator for all of us as we make fun of the Air Force. Can't help that, just how it actually works. Now, Salazar called me and asked me to post bond from the county jail. I don't know how it helped, but I thought I'd do anything for Salazar. So this is the bond I found. I think he's dead now. Now I can keep my mouth shut, but you'll read the subtitles on my face. And after my funeral, one of my friends take my phone and text everyone, "Thanks for coming." That's all I've got. Back to you, Mr. Roastmaster.
All right. Thank you, Tim. Thank you to all of our roasters and toasters. Thank you to District 4 for putting on this wonderful event. And I'm just going to close with a few words from our Disney Channel, because they said Timothy Carlisle reminded them of Christopher Robbins. So Mr. Eeyore just said, Timothy, remember your journey. Remember where you've come and where you're going. And that making friends along the way really is a joy in and of itself. So may your pathway be light. May it be straight. May it lead you to the enlightenment that you're looking for. Don't leave any dust behind you, and you will certainly find joy in the future. Meanwhile, stay off our back. And I think as our meeting master, I'm going to return control to Mr. Tim Carlisle.
Thank you, Tyree. Great job as a roast master. Let's give him a round of applause, everybody. And at this point, I'd like to hand over the control of the meeting to past district governor, past international